Good morning, this is Jack from the Aftershock.net, and this is the pre-market recording for Monday, the 16th of March. Our disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, spirit your own charts. We're not here to issue trading signals. Right, okay, let's have a look at ES first. Now, on Friday morning, you'll recall I was saying that there were two main likely paths for today. One was, we stopped at 2630 area, went back to retest the low, probably got to 2350 and found some support there and came up. And the second one was that we went a little higher than 2630, which we did, but only by a few handfuls, and went back to the 2490 area. This is on obviously the March contract, a little lower, obviously 2475 to 2480 on ES June, and made a right shoulder on inverted head and shoulders, and that's what we did. And we broke up from that inverted head and shoulders, and we got exactly the same setup, basically almost picture perfect, the same IHS on ES, NQ, YM, and RTY. Now, obviously, overnight then, we've broken up from it. Our obvious two paths from that point are either we make it up to the target, and it's a very attractive target. It gets us to the 50% of the retracement of the rally so far. It gets us up to a possible larger IHS neckline. It gets us up to declining resistance. It's a very attractive target indeed, but that doesn't mean we've got to make it. In the event that we see a break below 2475, which was low on Friday, that will invalidate the IHS, and chances are at that stage we will be rejecting back towards the retest of the low at 2375-ish, and likely do that 2350 test that we didn't do on Friday. So wait and see what happens there. If we can find support this morning without getting down on Friday's low, then this IHS can still play out. I'll be watching with interest to see whether that happens. All right, so that's just set up on ES. This is looking strange because, of course, we've been stopped all night, reached limit down at 5%, and it stopped all night, which seems to be what they're doing in Globex. They stop until RTH if it reaches limit down overnight. Now, in the morning, of course, our options are, if we continue down, which at the moment I'm thinking we probably will, then we will go down 2% and we will stop out again for 15 minutes. That'll take us down to about 2500, 2505 or something. And at that stage, we're only 30 handles above the low from Friday. If we break that, then my working assumption will be that we're heading back to the retest of the low. If we don't break it, and remember, there's a huge amount of money pumped in, Fed cut rates to zero. I mean, obviously the news is rubbish, but the fact is, if we're going to have a decent rally, then I think waiting. Well, if we have to wait until the news is good on the virus, then I think we might be waiting a while. So I think the chances are it's going to be able to rally without that, or if not, this is going to be one steep decline. So that's where we are on ES. We made the possible near miss target on NQ. Pretty much I've called the targets as made on everything except RTY, I think. Same IHS, RTY. Don't think we made the one. No, we didn't quite make it. So pretty much same setup. YM, pretty much the same setup. I like this IHS. I like the target on it. We did have inverted head and shoulder patterns also forming on DAX and ESTX. Obviously, those have not delivered. Those didn't actually break ever. We were still working on the right shoulder, and obviously these have broken down. ESTX, because these ones didn't limit down overnight, I don't think, or if they did, they didn't. So we're still on 60-minute buy signals there. How much is in the current environment is open question. Now, DX, Stan was saying that with the rates cut to zero, the dollar should rise. I'm convinced that's the case, but we haven't broken support yet. We're at an inflection. Testing the weekly pivot. 60-minute sell signal is fixed. This setup could break here. If it doesn't, then one thing I was saying in ChartChat yesterday was I was speculating whether DX actually would turn to be our main flight to safety destination. If that would be the case, then we would make a break over 99. Well, we'd get a break over 99.88, and at that stage, that would open up a possible move up to the 103.8 area. Watching to see what happens there. I was talking about this on Friday. This is a decent looking falling channel. This could be a bull flag, and if so, it's broken up and backed out. That could be setting up a retest of this high here at 191 and change. Waiting to see what happens there. CL. CL may have been forming a triangle here. That triangle's broken down. We're likely to see a retest of low in the 27 and change area, I think. And we may, obviously, we've got a bigger picture target at a retest of the 2016 low at 605 and be lower. So we could be towards that. May still be forming the inverse shoulders here, the larger one. Watching support at the monthly pivot. If we look at it converts seriously, then we could go back and reload those. But there's no actual need to do that. We will see. GC. One chart shout out, and to be honest, I've been mentioning it regularly for market videos. This is a double top broken down. It's got a top 1420 area. Really, at this speed, could make it today. We're still on a 60-minute buy signal, but we've been on that for the last over 100 handles downside, so I'm not really looking for that for anything. On the bigger picture, this could be the start of a sustained downtrend in precious metals. On SI, this has taken us to back to under 12, which is quite remarkable. The 60-minute buy signal has failed there. This is, I think this beat out the 2016 low, which I think was about 14.5. This is impressive. HG. HG is a big support, and that support may be breaking, and it may have broken today. This is the rising support trend line from 2002, and I think I had that in about the 237 area. We may have broken it this morning. That's a huge, huge break. I mean, not sure it can go a great deal there, but nonetheless, it's a huge break. I was really expecting that to hold, and it's not. This is lack of demand. Commodities are all getting murdered here. So EURUSD, nice looking double bottom here. It's broken up slightly. So at this stage, we've got the option of either failure back into the previous low, which would be DX going higher, or this playing out, which would be DX going lower. We're still making that decision on a 60-minute buy signal. We'll see how that goes. GBP USD. We're pretty close to a 60-minute buy signal. Might get one possible double bottom set up here. USD JPY. Heading down, hasn't broken rising support, which I've got in about the 104.9 area. Could be heading down, but of course, if the DX finds, chances are that's probably going to be heading up. We will see. USD CAD. USD CAD coming in for a retest of this high, getting up a double top as and when we reach it. Australian dollar. Australian dollar really has been completely murdered over the last few days. It's gone through all the obvious supports. We could be on a 60-minute buy signal. We could be making a lower low and increased positive diversions. We could be making a here, but to be honest, would I want to buy this? No, I don't know. NZUSD has retested this, as I was suggesting it probably would in chart chat. Possible bottoming action here. That goes. KC is coming in for a retest of this low, which was expected. SB is breaking down further at the moment, on the verge of losing the 60-minute positive divergence. CC is going, nice looking falling here, but it's not delivered anything. It could be breaking down. CW retesting this low again, action, but I would on it. Cool. Promising looking falling wedge. At the moment we are breaking below. This could be a bullish, but equally it might not be a bullish. Soy. Soy is heading down further. Could be bottoming action here. Watching that with interest. The real candidates for I'm looking at here and with interest are cotton, which has quite up on the daily chart. A falling megaphone here, which might generate LB. This has a lot of divergence on the daily chart. Watch the pivot here. If we see over declining resistance, then this could rally. But I mean, in this environment, it's for anything to rally. And lean hogs finally to the low and has gone low. The moment, no current positive divergence. All right, what have we got today, guys? the RTH trading rules are for SPX, so I do know 7% will do what we did the other day and close down 15 minutes. That would be in the 2500 to 2505 area, I think, and we may do that. So at the moment, it looks as though it's going to open up down. The question is how far down. It could stop out immediately. It does. Could do. Yeah, I mean, it's it could open down considerably further. So, but yeah, I mean, if we do, if we go below 2475, chances are we're going to go and retest the line in the 23 40. Sorry, in the 23 area, I think it was, and chances are we're going to make that in the 2350 area. So we'll see how that goes. 10%, that would get us down to 2200. Okay, well, you never know, but I think we've got at least a decent shot at a reasonable rally at 2350. Obviously, the news is ugly, but we will see. But I think I mean, it depends. I mean, the Fed pulled out a lot of stops. See what the RTH buyers do. There's still a chance that RHS could make target, although it's not particularly promising at the moment. I'm watching to see what happens. We'll probably see the second stop out in the 2500 area, and then we will see what happens on the reopen after that. We may find some support, or equally we may not. It's a shame because I really like that RHS target, and this really needs a rally. Well, it's very hard to get trend forming without some rallies. So yeah, I mean, it could be we'd see it shut down for 4 days, but so we reach 2200, they might be thinking about it. So I'm not thinking. Well, I mean, we could reach 20% down today, but I don't know that yet. And we may get there. Obviously, the news is grim. Obviously, the American government has dropped the ball really badly. And obviously, regardless of whether they've dropped the ball really badly, this is going to have a serious impact on everyone. Obviously, in the UK, there's been the government's adopting a policy where really it's talking about the 1918 epidemic, which came in waves, and talking about basically trying to create some herd immunity before the second wave, which could be worse. And actually, that's a pretty sound scientific strategy, but we'll see. The second halt, I'm not sure. I think it might be 15%, but it might be the 20% one. The first one I know is at 7%, and I think it's 15 minutes. 15 minutes the other day. When we do this, and chances are we're going to repeat what happened at that open. And we'll see. We may find support there, we may not. This is a pretty wild market, obviously. So we will see. All right, guys. Anyway, in that case, that's a wrap. I want to get ready because we're going to start trading in 2 minutes. It's going to be an interesting start to the day. If we do break below 25, my working assumption will be we're going to head down to the 2380s, and we're probably going to retest 2350. Well, test 2350, and I will be looking for potential support there. We will see. It's going to be one way or another. It's going to be an exciting day. Yeah, good. I'm just hoping my wife doesn't get coronavirus because she's immunocompromised at the moment. But we've been taking precautions. So we will see. All right, cheers, guys. Catch you on. See you later. Thanks, mate.